Peace. Hey, y'all got to see this. Check it out. It say, a look at many medieval European representations of Moors in art and literature reveals that the Moors differed in physical appearance about as much as African Americans do today. But when one sees the artistic renderings of Moors in such books of heraldry as those of Charles J. Fox Davies and James Fairbairn, it is evident that the standard for a Moor was most often very dark skin and woolly hair. Hold up. Very dark skin. In Revelations, don't that describe Jesus? Don't that describe when Yahushua said he was going to come back in Revelations? Don't it say that Jesus was going to have hair like lamb's wool, skin like burnt brass? Peace, more.
Islam, boy. Peace.
Islam. Yo, Kudjo, don't it say that in the Bible, in the good book?
Hair like burnt brass. Skin like burnt brass. Hair like wool.
Hair like wool. I mean, this is from the book. Show you the book real quick. Peace and love to all the Moors out there. We just show you the book. You coming from this right here, man. Othello's Children in the New World. This is where we at. You know. Peace, Moor. What's the word?
All is well, boy. We're here. We're
Yes,
here.
sir. Yes, sir. And then, yo, Kudjo. And then, when you go to J.A. Rogers, right? Y'all share this beam out. When you go to J.A. Rogers, 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro, when you go there, and then you see what he was talking about, he was saying, this right here. This right here. Where is it at? Where the receipt at? He say, the most ancient names for so-called black people are Nehesu or Nubian, Ethiopian, and more from ancient Egypt, and Negro or Negrita from West Africa. All the above are native African words. So that pretty much destroy the nonsense with these people out here yapping, and they like,
Yeah.
man, you know, they be like, more is a Greek word, like it's European or something.
Yep. And that usually comes from your own. It's not
Fact.
even like it's the colonists talking like that. It's your own who sold you out, try to keep you in the black and the African and the Negro and the colored, and it's those ones that keep pushing that. Right?
Oh, we got
Check this one. We got
what's up?
one right here.
Go ahead.
So somebody in the chat said, so let's go beyond Moors. We were called Aboriginal people, or is that just who we are, being that the entire world was covered with us since the beginning of time? Like Jay Rogers just said,
Yeah.
one of the most ancient names of our people is Moor, and that came from ancient Egypt.
Facts.
Egypt's ancient.
Facts.
Egypt's not some modern thing.
Exactly. And Egypt was over here. Check this out. For them out there running with the Indian narrative and the Hebrew narrative. What does it say right here? What does it say right here for them? For them out there running with that, it say, the presence of the titles El and Bey among both African and American Indian peoples is also significant, as they are both used by Moor Science temples, Muslims. The Onaga of the Iroquois nations use the title Il as both a title and a family name. They say that Il, the Il clan, sprung from the Seneca River. The Il clan is known to be one of the principal lines for chiefs In the work of William Beechchamp, the name of a prominent Iroquois man, Sodus Bay, phonetically corresponds to the Moorish title of Bay. So we talking. We talking
Oh
big
yeah.
feats.
Oh yeah. And for the, MUUR and the MOOR and the MAUR and all these are different people or something. No, they're not. It's the same people.
Facts. Same people.
Don't get into that separatist mindset of thinking because it's spelt different, you're not talking about the same people.
Pick up the book by J.A. Rogers, Nature Knows No Color Line. It break that down. You talking about the same people, y'all. It's these vampires and these traitors that want to get us to be separated. The word Moor got over 60 variations to the spelling because Moors, we already we transcribed the planet, man. We was everywhere. We went coast to coast, literally, on every continent. So when they say, well, why is the Moor spelled like this in this area, in that area? Because we was already over there.
Yep.
We was already there. So how can these so-called Indians explain? Well, why are they using titles from the Moor Science Temple of America? Why are they using Muslim titles like El and Bay? Gotcha.
And to back that up, just in the summer, we went to New Brunswick
Right.
to go to a powwow out there. And there's some brothers and sisters that live on a reserve out there that they're on the science. The name of their reserve is Eel River.
Ah,
EEL River.
facts.
And then when they got put on that, well, EL, that's also the pronunciation. Eel. EL.
Mm,
That's also the pronunciation. That's what got them to really say, oh yeah, we get where you're coming from, that we're not Indians, we're Moors. Because
for sure.
our reserve is called El River. That's our reserve.
You can't make
Some
this up.
Indians. Go look it up. Go Google it right now. Eel River Bar Reserve.
You
You go
can't make
Google
this
that
up.
right now. Right?
You can't make this up. Now let's
And
look at.
again, that's just backing up. That's just backing up the right there. See what that says right there?
Mm-hmm.
PhD.
Mm-hmm. And then
PhD,
you
right?
got the word bay. You got the word bay right there. What does bay mean? Let's show you what bay means. So you ain't taking nobody word for nothing. You looking at it, you seeing it, and you're gonna do your own research on it. It says the word bay means governor or provincial ruler. That's what bay means. So let's add on to that. Let's just add on to that. What does it say right here? It says the historical origin for the name Bay. He does not mention the presence of the Bay clan in Senegal, West Africa. Diop identifies them as the Good Luck family. Diop says that Bay was one of the Karorian dynastic clans who systematically refused to embrace the Islamic religion. Because we're free to do what we want to do. This appears somewhat peculiar given the fact that Bay would become so closely associated with an Islamic, supposed to be Muslim identity. See that? Seneca, what they talking about, more? What they talking about?
Right. And keep in mind that the Moors are known as the ones who traveled the seven seas. Docking a boat is called mooring because the Moors were the ones with the boats. Everybody knew the Moors were the ones with the boats, so to dock your boat is called mooring.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Facts.
Now, remember that Chesapeake Bay and Thunder Bay and Collins Bay and BAY. Every time you talk about BAY, you're talking about somewhere near water, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
BAY. If they say BAY, you're talking about something near water.
Yep.
Right? BAY is really BEY. They played you.
Yep. Somebody threw a question up there. They said, talk about why they cut down all the bells. That's a good question. They cut down the bells because the bells generate a frequency, vibration, and the energy. And you got people out here that do not want humanity to ascend to a level where that frequency, vibration, and energy will exist. So to lower the frequency, energy, and vibration, they had to start destroying the world bells. They had to bring it down, because once you got that vibration, energy, and frequency elevating, it's everybody's going to catch up to that level.
Right?
And
So,
you feel me? Go ahead, Marv.
yeah. So, just to back up what you're talking about, right? When we're talking about the bell, this is the bell.
Right.
This is 432 hertz bell. They got how much ever hertz amount they can go to depending on the size of the bell. And then just do your research on the bells and how big bells used to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Now we're talking about the bell, right? Inside the bell is one of these,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what do you use the thing on the inside the bell? What's that doing? It's being used to hit the bell to create the frequency.
Right.
Hit the bell. This is the stuff inside the bell, right? This is inside the bell,
Mm-hmm.
and it hits the bell. And once it hits the bell, then you get the frequency.
Right.
Let's say all these bells were, let's say below 1400 hertz. Let's just say a bell was doing that. And
Okay.
every hour on the hour, you got the. Now, when that
Right.
frequency goes out, what's happening to the people when that frequency goes out to them?
Mm.
Right? So now you see that's why they got rid of all the bells. That's
Facts.
why if they do have bells today, right now, if they do have bells, that's just there for style. They don't even ring those anymore.
That's right. They just up there.
They're just there. Why is that just there?
Decoration. They
Right?
just
Because the the science of the Moors was one with everything.
facts.
The science of the Moors is one with everything. So of course we're gonna have a now also keep in mind with the bell, what's happening to the people that are inside the building that the bell's at?
Mm.
What kind
Yeah.
of energy are they getting?
Talk to them. Talk to them.
And again, what's this called? Tuning.
Exactly.
This tuning.
And
So the
what does
ringing
the
of the bell
bell
is tuning.
facts?
It's not more.
And what does the bell resemble? It resembles a fez. The shape of the bell curve, the entire symbol is shaped like a fez. What is a fez? It's an ancient Moorish headdress. Ancient and modern headdress. See, we talk about ancient and modern. So look, straight to it right here. Ancient and modern. They want us to stay divided and not think like we were around the entire planet. We got to come out of that frequency, that vibration, that energy. We got to come to the vibe and realization and energy and realization and frequency realization that we were around the whole planet, boys. We are the Semitic people. The Semites, the Canaanites, the Armenians, the Moabites, the Hebrews, the Phoenicians, the Assyrians, the Babylonians. We are all of these people. We get caught up in lowering our frequency, energy, and vibration, listening to people that's demons that want to keep us divided. How can you have all of the architecture around the world, from universities to castles to cathedrals, all right, to post office buildings to courthouses? How do all these buildings, they look real similar? Like the starships, the forts and whatnot. Why they all look like they've been carved and chiseled by the same type technology? The Taj Mahal. How it look like a building in Florida, in Opalaka. Come on, man. You talking about energy, frequency, and vibration of the bell. We gotta elevate this bell. You gotta ring this bell off on the higher side.
Right? And D-Rose showed you. Right? D-Rose showed you. Went on Math Hoffa and he showed you. He showed you the fez that
Yeah,
he be wearing all the time. And then he took it and he flipped it inside out. And then he
yeah,
said, see, I'm free.
yep.
This is the Liberty Bell.
Facts.
Because flipped inside out, now the tassel is inside the fez, which makes this the bell. And then you say you rep for D-Rose and all that stuff. You don't even know who you are as a Moor. And he told you?
He told you.
I thought you rep for him. Where's your fez at?
Where your fez at? Why you ain't knowing that you supposed to be wearing your fez, wearing your turban, wearing your shamar? You supposed to be wearing that. You got foreigners coming over here, and they wearing our stuff, and they got us out here not looking at ourselves like y'all in our homeland. So you got people out here worried about ICE. We was in here talking about this today, Kudjo. We was in here talking about how, like, they talking about the de facto government is shut down. Now, when you think about that, how can somebody that says their government shut down? Meanwhile, the liquor store's still open. They smoking cigarettes. The post office still open. How are these things still open? And they don't see it. They don't see what's going on, man. How can this shit still be open? Meanwhile, you got people over there in Nepal. They over there, they purging. They just rebelled against the whole government over there.
Yep.
And people in Italy, they just revolted against the whole world and the UK. And ain't nobody on mainstream media gonna talk about it. So we gotta be the news. We gotta be the news, man.
And always remember that anytime they talk about government shutdown, they're full of BS because they've been shut down since 1929 when they went bankrupt.
Facts. They bankrupt. They're de
So
facto.
they've been shut down.
They've been shut down. The people.
When are the people going to realize that the stuff's been shut down and start governing themselves? Governing yourselves? Governing yourself.
You don't need Trump. You don't need Biden. You don't need Obama. You don't need Clinton. You don't need none of these people, man. They are all imposters in our land. That's the bell that need to go off. That bell right there in your head need to go off. You don't need somebody to govern you unless you want to remain a minor. You need somebody to watch you, like a ward or something, like a warden. You need somebody to watch how you talk, watch what you eat, watch how you move, tell you where to go, give you a license. You don't need nobody. I mean, do you need somebody to do that for you? Or can you do that yourself?
And somebody said in the chat, they're bankrupt now. Fiat is illegal. No, remember, they've been bankrupt.
They've been bankrupt.
And fiat's not illegal. Fiat's legal, but it's unlawful.
It's unlawful.
Fiat
It's
is legal.
unlawful.
That's why it says legal tender on it,
Exactly.
because
See, it's hidden in plain
it's
sight.
legal. It is
It's
legal,
right. It's right there in plain sight. It's legal, but it ain't lawful.
but it ain't lawful. And when
It
you
ain't
start
lawful.
going into the realm of illegal, when you start talking like that, opposed to legal lawful, right?
Yeah.
Legal lawful or lawful unlawful.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, as soon as you go into the illegal and all that stuff, you're putting yourself in a jurisdiction you don't need to be in.
Yeah, you don't need to be over there. That's when you're gonna put yourself in the tentacles of the octopus. That's that's when you start talking color of law and legal and you talking about what's illegal. You like Moore just said, you're gonna start the tentacles of the octopus. They're gonna get on you and they're gonna grab you. We got to elevate that frequency, energy, and vibration of knowing and exercising law, history, civics. That's what we gotta get on, fam. You know what I'm saying? And this one of the major things that I see is the fact that we get mad. Like people out here is get conditioned. They'll get mad like motherfucking Florida Evans. They'll go crazy when somebody telling them the real, but then when it's when it's a lie to them, they accept that. They welcome the lies. It's like they want to be lied to or some shit.
Yeah.
You want to be lied to. Now, when somebody telling you something uncomfortable, it's harsh. You like, nah, I can't. That can't be true. You ain't did a drop of research on it though.
Right.
Just like this, yo, Kudjo. It's like when they talking about smoking cigarettes, right? How they talking about the so-called government is shut down, but they still selling cigarettes. Oh, look at this. What it say? It say, while discussing tobacco, Weiner reveals that trade took place between Colombian American Indians and Africans. So we talking about American, Moorish Americans, right? This for all y'all out there talking about you were Indian though. Look, significantly, there are several period representations from the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, which show Africoid figures as the symbolic spokesman for tobacco. Hold up, hold up, hold up. You said what now? You said Moorish features, right? Then you got pictures like this right here. A depiction of a so-called Native American tobacco packaging, der Moor. This is in Amsterdam. This is an Amsterdam Pipe Museum. There's a Moor right there. Hold up. There's a Moor right there. Look at that. We talking about receipts over here. Huh? Huh? There's another Moor up there. Smoking. 1965, American tobacco. So who was in control of tobacco? Moors was. Depiction of a so-called Native American. Tobacco. Der Moor. Amsterdam Pipe Museum. There he is again. See? There is again, Moor. What they talking about? Nationality is the order of the day, man.
Now, which page were you just on right there?
On this book,
In Othello's,
Othello's, 67.
right? So 67, right? Now look, remember we didn't talk about any page numbers.
Nah.
We didn't talk about any page numbers, right?
Oh,
So before you showed that, I was gonna read this. This is page 59.
okay. Let me go to that. Okay, we there.
In South America, the German art historian and collector Alexander von Wutnow describes a group of heads produced by Mixtec artists from the Oaxaca region of Mexico as Moorish looking. The heads are from the post-classic 900-1500 CE era. He also refers to a superb Moorish looking clay sculpture of the Veracruz classic 300 to 900 CE period. There is also a classic era Veracruz sculpture described by Wootenau as fine characterization of an old man with a hat. The hat looks identical to the Moroccan-style fez. Von Wootenau also depicts a series of female terracotta heads from the
Wow.
Guerrero, Mexico, which he says reflects the traditional headdress worn by Moroccan Sephardic brides. Wiener Weiner compared compared the clothes of Peruvian women to that of Moorish women.
Wow. We talking about receipts, man. We talking about receipts, Morris. This
And
what we talking
this is PhD receipts. This isn't just guy pushing live receipts or
about.
thought leader receipts.
Yeah.
Right? This is not those people's receipts. This is PhD.
PhD receipts. PhD receipts. And then let's take it across the water again. Let's go over here and look at her. Who's that? Princess Charlotte Sophia of England, wife of George III in the late 18th century. Let's look at her. They got a TV show on her right now on Netflix. They got her out there right now. Y'all know the name of the show. What does it say about her? It say, a better case can be made for this artistic downplaying of African type ancestry in the paintings of Queen Philippa. Evidence of her dark ancestry or Moorish ancestry mainly comes from her descriptions and genealogy. So we talking about blood. We talking about genealogy now. According to the cited article, she had Moorish ancestry and was described as brown all over, like her father. Paintings provide no such clue because this was whitewashed. All this was whitewashed. What's the name of that TV show that's on Netflix? What's the name of that show? Old girl on there. Y'all know the name of that show on Netflix, man.
Know what you're
About
talking
King.
about too.
You
And I
know the
can't
one?
remember. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Yeah, man. What's the name of that
Somebody
damn
knows in
show?
the chat.
Yeah, somebody in the chat know what time it is. You know it's on Netflix, man. Bridgerton. Islam. No, you see, this is why I rock with the Moors though, man, because anytime you want to know something, you ask them more. They got the answer. Somebody knows something.
Somebody knows something.
Somebody gonna know something. Bridgerton. Islam. That's exactly the name. So when you watch that, then you could bridge in the gap. They had Moorish features. King George was not a pale skin. He was another Moor. See, nah. See, when they start seeing them pictures, Kudjo, that's when it gets spooky for
Yep.
them. That's when it gets spooky. Just like over there, when they talk
What?
about when they talk about Jay Rogers, what he was talking about, Jay Rogers, what he said when he was talking about how when the pale skins when they end up kind of like taking power, how they put the white paint or the Caucasian face on the
Yep.
statues and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's give him a reference. Give him a reference.
Just like when you saw in Iraq and all that stuff when they were destroying all the Persian stuff,
Facts.
all the Sumerian statues and all that stuff, destroying those. Why are they doing that for?
Right.
Because the people are back. The ancients have returned.
Yes,
The
sir.
problem is the ancients don't know who they are. The ancients
Mm-hmm.
think that they're Indian and African and Negroes and blacks. That's what they think. And they're
Right.
absolutely wrong because the entire world knows that we're Moors. We're descendants of the ancient Moabites and Canaanites. Everybody knows this about our people.
Mm-hmm.
Original man and all that stuff.
Yes,
The
sir.
black man is God and all that.
Yes,
We know
sir.
who it is that we are. We're not assuming who we are. We're telling you we're Moors, and we're backing it up with reference points so that you
Fact.
can go check for yourself. You don't have to hear what Moors are saying. You don't have to. Check the facts, check the receipts, prove it wrong. And
Prove
once
it
you can't
wrong.
prove it wrong, then that should humble you to get on this,
Yep.
because you can't prove it wrong. What the hell are you debating about? What you bringing up some other stuff that you haven't even proved? The stuff that all these stuff that Kush put out with all these different books and all that stuff. People's house there should be books dropping off shit. There should be so much books.
Hell yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Played absolutely played you.
And then I threw up a post yesterday. They was talking about the NAACP. What was it? The NAACP was founded by pale skinned Caucasians and a couple of so-called black people. Ida B. Wells, uh, whatever the other guy name is. And the majority of the NAACP was created by pale skinned Caucasians. The NAACP that our people have been royally finessed by. You think that was started by us and for us. That was created as a psyop operation to get us to go over there looking for remedy. Whole
And
time the remedy ain't gonna come from the NAACP. It's not created for that. It's created to take your energy, drain your vibration, and drain your frequency, and drain your pockets. That's what it's
and
for.
and they've been so played that they don't even know that the NAACP was the Niagara movement before that. And then go
Yeah.
research what the Niagara movement was about relative to our people, and then you're gonna ask yourself the same damn question again. Well, how come we're following this? How come our people are part of these things right now? Like, why are they part of this?
Mm-hmm.
If Drew Ali came in the 1920s, and at least by 1929, we know it was a common idea amongst our people that we're not Negro, black, colored people, because those are slave names.
Right.
And if we're not a slave, then you can't call us that.
See,
Right?
you know what too more? It's it's the ego, man. The ego is
Hell of a drug.
strong. It's strong. And for some, it'll overtake their thinking. So they could be looking at it a lot of ways, but they looking at it from they looking at it from a perspective that they've been told. This would don't make no sense because you don't get remedy as a black person. You don't get remedy as a person of color. You don't get remedy as an Indian. You don't get remedy as a Hebrew Israelite. You don't get remedy as any of these things because you're divided. When Asians come over here, they all Asians. When Russians come over here, Germans, they all Russians and Germans. When Africans come over here, yeah, they look like you, but they don't identify like you do because they know they come from a country, from a continent. They don't call themselves black, and they are part of the scam too. They come over here scamming with that immigration bullshit, and they come over here misidentifying us as I ain't gonna hang around them. They black, knowing that they ain't black, and knowing that our people ain't black. But in order for them to come over here, they got to go through immigration. And when they go through immigration, they get screened. Don't come over there telling them people nothing. Get your ass out of here. They foreigners in our land too, man. They know we Moors. They know we Moorish Americans. Islam.
And you would have to talk with them. But again, part of their deal for being over here is they can't talk to you unless it's
Yep.
about taking your finance.
Yeah.
So we can't figure our stuff out. So they set them up to come over here by the millions,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then they take all the resources, these foreigners, right? They take all the resources, they build up their whatever town, right? That's not called a color,
Yep.
right? The nationality is the name of their town. Chinatown, Japantown,
Yeah.
whatever little areas, wherever you're at, there's a little area where there's some foreigners and that's their
Yeah.
area. And everybody knows that's their area. And ain't
Yeah.
nobody telling them nothing about their area.
Like in Chicago, you got Greek Town,
Yep.
you got Little Mexico,
Yep.
you
Just
got
like here.
Chinatown,
Yep.
you got
Just like
Little
here. Yep.
oh
Just
yeah,
like here. Yep.
Little Palestine.
Yep. Just like here.
Yep.
Yep. Little Italy.
Little Italy.
Yep. Just like here.
A real land name. Not a brand name, a land name.
Nationality.
Straight up.
This
A,
is how
a
the
land.
world, that's how the world operates.
Yeah, man.
Slave plantations operate with brand names.
Yeah.
The world operates with nationalities.
That's the
Take your
first
pick. Take your pick.
that's the first issue at law.
Take your pick.
What land do you come from? What land you come from? That's it. Cause over there in India, over there in Bharat, you want to say Hindustan, whatever. Guess what was running it over there first? Moorish people. See? See, these are pictures that they ain't gonna show y'all. They ain't gonna show our people.
And guarantee you that when they identify whoever that is, they're not gonna say that they're black. They're gonna call them by their ancient Indian name.
Facts.
They're not gonna say this is a black lady doing whatever. They're gonna
Facts.
either identify them by the name of whatever their name is, or they're gonna identify them with a nation.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna be some random, unless it's some Negro scholar who wrote the book, which they're part of
Yeah.
the agenda to keep you in this dumb stuff about people are black and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna say that they black. They ain't gonna say none of that. See? Look at that. Then when you do crack open this book, you can snatch this book up right here off Amazon. Snatch it up. It's on some super low type price. Snatch this up. You open this up, all you do is turn to page 3. And what it say? It said the South India, they are described as having a dark brown complexion, wavy or curly hair, short, broad noses, short stature. The occasional afro can be seen amongst them. The afro. Then we kick off this beam I'm talking about woolly hair
Mhm.
and dark complexion. That's how we kicked it off. And the whole time, look, what did it say over here? He talking about the Dravidians, the high caste Dravidians of the South. There are enough individuals of African complexion to suggest a common origin with the Australo Negrito group. We go right back over here to Jed Rogers, and you see the same thing. The most ancient names for so-called black people are Nehesu, Nubian, Ethiopian, and more. Negro or Negrita. They was over here. The same thing. Yo, the same thing, boy. Islam.
Wrong.
Same thing.
Why do you think certain countries have have the word ish at the end of the word? For example, English.
Yep.
But when you look at the language, ish is attaching to whatever word, right? Ish is
Yep.
attaching to something, right? Ireland, Irish.
Yep.
Right? The ire is for the people of Ireland. Right? Jew-ish.
Mm-hmm.
The Jew,
British.
then the ish. The
Yep.
Brit are for the Brits. Remember
Yep.
all these people that we're talking about. Remember the afros and all that, according to what we've been taking in.
Yeah.
All these people had dark skin and all that. We're not talking about. So as soon as you get in the mindset of connecting, certain things like the English language to some modern Europeans, you're already wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Right?
you looking at it from their perspective.
To broaden the perspective. The
Right.
broader perspective is like more ish. Anything else ish is pertaining to what it's attached to, what ish is attached to.
Mm-hmm.
So English is about the Anglan,
Right.
which were some slaves to some other people that they were Callaways and Galloways and Picts and Druids, and they weren't saying English and all that.
Right.
There was no Europe then.
Mm-hmm.
So certain things are modern, certain things are ancient, but don't get caught up in losing focus on self, looking at others. You worry about your grass that you have to cut. You don't worry about other people. They already have a nationality.
Yeah.
Our problem is we come into knowing about our nationality, and in 2 days we want to be the president of something.
Right.
Right?
Instead of just continuing the journey, man. The journey is to learn something and get better every day. That's the journey. Pass what you know on as a legacy. That's the journey. Not being caught up in the ego where you say, like Moore just said, you learn something and then you want to take over everything. And like you just started 2 days ago, a week ago, a year or two ago. Nah, you gotta stay in the lab. You gotta stay in the war room. You gotta train. You gotta prepare yourself. Cause say you do learn something and then somebody challenge you on your position. Now, you ain't got time to go get a book. You ain't got time to ask nobody a question. It's real time. You gotta know an answer. You gotta have something. You ain't got time to go. Nah, I need to go look up something. Nah, you
Research.
ain't got time for that. It ain't no time to go look up shit right now. You gotta know what you need to know.
Yeah.
Shit. Like this right here. They talk about King James. Eh? Do people realize that King James he was a swarthy Moor? The guy in the Bible, King James Stewart. Do you know that his wife, she also was a Moor? Anne, that was her name, Queen Anne. This is her. You need to see her from Denmark. They talk about the royal families. The royal families all around the world were dark complexion, swarthy Moors and copper Moors. There it is. There it is. Arrows pointing to the nappy hair of Queen Anne of Denmark, the wife of King James of Scotland. All of the royal families were not pale-skinned Europeans. They were not pale skins. They were all dark complexion. All of them. Even the money that you look at. This is the red seal of King James VI of Scotland. Follow the money. Look at the money. When you start looking at the money, you're going to start looking at things totally different. Just look at
Totally.
the money, man.
Totally
Look
different.
at it. Totally different. You start looking at that money, and you're going to be like, oh, I can see myself now. I see myself now. All you got to do is look at what they was wearing. All of them got similar fashion. All of them. Feathers. bow and arrows, turbans. Look at what they wearing.
Gold, silver.
Uh, yeah, gold and silver. Look at what they got on. Gold. And why were they painted like that? Why were they painted like that? Go to J.A. Rogers. What J.A. Rogers say? From the book, right here. J.A. Rogers, what he say? The fact, he says, hold up. Where you at? He say, when the Caucasians came into power, they shifted the colors. We got to keep in mind this color thing. But as late as the 1500s, the Abyssinians still depicted their gods and heroes as swarthy, and their devils and villains as pale or white. Father Fernandez, a Catholic missionary who worked amongst them at this time, says they paint Christ, the Blessed Virgin, and other saints in swarthy form, and devils and wicked men in white and pale. Thus Christ and his apostles are swarthy, and Judas, the wicked one, is painted pale. Annas, Caiaphas, Pilate, Herod, and the Jews are pale, while Michael is swarthy, and the devil is pale. Didn't a movie come out? One of the movies, something about the devil and the pale. What she had on? Nah, I'm tweaking. I'm talking about Batman. Remember Batman, the first Batman, G?
Or the
Remember
first
that?
one. Yeah.
With Jack Nicholson in there. Remember he was
Yeah.
talking about,
Yeah.
you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Yeah. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Tell it all the time. So they shifted the color paradigm, and they got us out here looking at the royal families around the world like they're Caucasians, like Prince Charles and all of them that's in there right now. Them ain't the original royal families. Queen Elizabeth that died, she was not in the royal family like that. They was all hijacked. Cause you seen that dude talking Kudjo?
Who was that?
It's a guy that's on there making the case like I'm from the
Oh
royal
yeah,
blood.
yeah. Yeah, I see them.
You seen it?
Mm.
I don't know if he a decoy. I don't know if
Yeah.
he whatever he is. If he's not
Whatever.
saying more,
Yeah.
he
Once
cook.
you're not saying more, you're just playing around.
Yeah, he cook.
Because the concept is real. That yeah, if anybody should be making some claim to that, it should be somebody who's Asiatic.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You know, there should be, so, because if we're all descendant from these people, these original people, then
Yep.
everybody has a claim.
Everybody got
Everybody
a
has a
claim.
claim. But if you're not making the claim in the right status, your claim is dead.
Dead. You
Claim is
gotta
dead if it's not in the right status.
you gotta make the claim in the right status.
This is
You
why
can't
we say that when you're reading and doing research and all that, when you see the stuff that Noble Ali said that you're not Negro, black, color, and all that stuff, in your
Yep.
mind you're saying more when you're reading that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you're reading, you're switching it to say more.
Yep.
Right? There was Mansa Musa or Moor. Mansa Musa is from Mali. Malians are Moors. That's documented.
That's
Because
documented.
the Dogon high priests wear fezzes. Go check.
Just like he got on.
Why is the Dogon high priest wearing a red fez for if they're not Moors?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. Well, they're Dogon. Yeah, they're Dogon. That's their tribe.
Mm-hmm.
They're a Dogon tribe. Yeah. But they're Moors. Stop
Yeah,
it.
they Moors.
They never called themselves Moors. They wear red feathers. What the hell do you mean they never called themselves Moors?
Facts.
What are they
Just
wearing
like
red
this guy.
feathers for if they're not Moors?
Just like this guy. King James. Look how they whitewash King James over here.
They got
See
him in a
how they
fez though.
whitewashed him? Crazy.
But he's fezzed up though.
He fezzed up
Yeah.
though.
You really think that's a European?
He
You
fezzed
got
up though.
you, you got
They
the
whitewashed him, man. Look at it. Look at him. They put the pale paint on him. But how's he got pale right there, but dark right there?
yeah.
They redid him and he got a fez on? Come on, man. Come on. He's the king of the Hebrews, the Hiberni. You see? The book is right here. Hey, the book is right here, man. You can snatch this off Amazon too.
How
We keep,
much more you want? What do you want?
you feel me?
What do you want? You need more still? All
Like
right.
our people, we gonna flood you.
Oh yeah, we're all right.
We gonna
We could draw
flood
on
you.
you. We could draw on
Cause
you.
look,
It's all good.
it say this there is another secret on this swarthy portrait of King James on page 20. That's this one right here. It say he self-styles himself as the king of the Hebrews, the Hibernera. I say this to say to the so-called scholars respectfully, how can you dismiss the verbiage, the words on the picture of King James of the Sixth of Scotland? Now, he's a Highlander of Scotland. And it says in Genesis chapter 32, verse 24 through 28, Jacob wrote, look, Jacob Colophon as an eyewitness that he wrestled with an angel and that the angel changed his name to Israel. We talking about Genesis chapter 32, verse 24 through 28, man. Moses took the 11 tablets, the diaries from the elders, and wrote the book of Genesis. Each tablet was signed by the author with the phrase, "These are the generations of." In the ancient Mesopotamia, the same formula was found to be used by the ancient Mesopotamians. The secret is that the phrase, "These are the generations of Jacob," is the end of the tablet, not the beginning. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can keep flooding you, man.
We could keep flooding you. There's an excerpt from Blackamore's. And this one in
Go on and
this
flood them.
one,
Go on and flood.
page 218. In the 16th century Europe, the skin complexion associated with Africans sometimes appeared to have been seen as an indicator that the person was linked to a higher Moorish culture. So this provides another reason why other Africans, in addition to Iberian Moors, were retained in some Tudor household and entourages. And the high culture, the high culture, the Moorish nobility, that they lie and tell you black nobility,
Mm-hmm.
because they want to put their little spin on it when it's the Moorish nobility.
The
Ain't no
Moorish
black
nobility.
nobility.
Facts.
The
Black mean
Moors are the
pale.
nobles.
Right. Black mean pale. How you have you ever seen a European pale skin build a castle? Because if they could, then why wouldn't they build a castle right now? The old world is really what people out here saying is the new world. That's why they can't. Why can't they replicate a castle? Why, with all this technology, have they not recreated a pyramid, a castle, anything? from the
All right.
old world.
Let's slow down because I want Getty. I want Getty to get this, right? So he said if you're here from England, talk about why most of the landmarks in England are named Moor. For example, Moorgate, right? Just as you're talking about the castles.
Uh-huh.
It's called Moor because it's more stuff. Don't, it's not some deep thing. Get out of the being in the box,
Yeah.
right? Anytime you see more, I don't care if the M's capital or whatever like that, that means Moors were there.
Yeah.
Anytime you see more on some obscure thing that you're like, why is Moor here? Why is this thing called Moor? Because the Moor was there. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else makes sense as to why something would be called Moor.
It's over 484 names. Just to put some facts on what you talking about to add on more. Islam was in America and had a big influence on America because you have a total of 565 names, 484 in America, 81 in Canada, of villages, towns, cities, mountains, lakes, rivers, etc. How can you have Moorish names in the Americas and don't think that you are Moor in America? Bing bong. Ha, that's a shot to the head. That's a straight shot to the head. How can you have 484 Moorish names in the Americas and not think that you're Moorish American? How? Alabama, Tallahassee, Kentucky, Illinois, Memphis, Georgia, Atlantis, Wakanda. So-called Canada is really Wakanda, Canaanland.
Too much.
Nova
Mississippi.
Scotia, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. Just look at the names here. You got 7 Moroccos in America. Look at Utah. Like if you want to look at how the names is Moorish, look at the names in Utah. Just Utah alone. Look at the names out there. You got names like Enoch in Utah. Yeah.
Can't make this
How?
shit up.
You can't make this shit up, man. Look at Oregon. Look at California. And then look up the founding seal of California. You're going to see Queen Khalifa. That's still in a hotel right now in California, in San Francisco. If I had the book on here, I'll show you right now. Matter of fact, I do, but we ain't got time. I'll show you where it's at, though. It's in this book right here. It's in this book right here. Queen Khalifa. One world, one America, Tartarians and Moors. It's in this book right here. It's hotels right now in San Francisco that have Queen Khalifa's murals all in there. That's a fact. So called Queen Elizabeth checkmate. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth and all the rest of them, they all come from Moors. The pale skins, they just got put in front of the Moors as decoys. They're decoys. Just like Django. Stephen was really running the slave plantation. It wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio. There go the time.
You already know more. Give thanks,
Yeah,
more.
for sure.
Give thanks.
Yes,
Honors to all
sir.
the Moors in the chat. Honors to Noble Drew Ali. Honors to you, Kush Islam.
Islam, Kudjo. Y'all don't know, follow the Moor, Grand Sheik Kudjo Awal, Canaanland Moors. Salute.